today's video, I'm going to talk about the best Cyber Monday gaming PC deals out there. Now, keep in mind that the Cyber Monday deals are not better than the Black Friday deals. However, I think it's a great time to buy gaming PCs right now, because when the deals are gone, you will have to wait until Christmas to see if they have better deals. But since the market is kind of crazy, we don't know exactly what's going to happen on Christmas. You will have all the links to these PCs and even more down below in the description. Without more to say, let's start with the video. With the first PC, we have our budget-friendly HP Pavilion, but this time the $550 version. This one comes with the AMD Ryzen 3 5300G alongside the RX 5500, 8GB of RAM on dual channel at 3200 MHz of speeds, 256GB of SSD. Now, the only downside for this PC is going to be the storage, but like I say in every video, you can just click on customize and buy and change the primary storage with 1TB of SSD if you can afford it, and if you can't, you can go with 1TB of hard drive, which is going to be much cheaper but slower. However, the SSD or the hard drive will not affect the gaming performance. This will only affect the load times. With that being said, this PC is able to run 1080p gaming 60 FPS average with the proper settings in almost every game: GTA 5, Valorant, CSGO and Fortnite. Now, these last three competitive games are going to be able to run at above 100 FPS, and if you end up upgrading the RAM to 16GB, this will improve even more and will improve 1% lows as well. So that's something to keep in mind, those two upgrades, the storage and the RAM. But if you can't afford it right now, don't worry, because you're on a deal, you can upgrade these parts later pretty easily. Now, for a $75 difference, you can change it to another Pavilion for $624, and I think it's worth the upgrade. You get the GTX 1650 Super, which is better than the RX 5500. You get the same RAM and the same storage, but you also get a better processor, the Ryzen 5 4600G. So you get a better CPU-GPU combination just for a $75 difference. So I think it's worth the upgrade, and the gaming performance overall will be much better. Once again, this gaming PC is designed to play at 1080p, and for competitive games you will be able to run this at above 144 FPS on average, and this PC is really similar than the one that I've tested on my HP Pavilion video, which you can watch in the top right of the screen. If you're thinking of buying any of these HP Pavilions, I think you should watch that video to see my full review about it. With the next PC, we have one from Best Buy. This one is the iBuyPower Slate MR Gaming Desktop. This one has the AMD Ryzen 5 3600, which is similar to the i5 10400F. You get 16GB of RAM and the RTX 2060. For the storage, we get 480GB of SSD. The only thing that I'm concerned about this PC is going to be the airflow because of the case. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of airflow, so that's something to keep in mind. Other than that, the RTX 2060 and the Ryzen 5 3600, it's a great combination for 1080p gaming, more than 60 FPS average in every game, and you can actually play with ray tracing. Now, if you could buy a gaming PC on the Black Friday deals, you could have gotten a gaming PC that had the RTX 2060 and the i5 11400F for around $825. But because we are not on that deal, this is your best deal at $1,050. And between $650 and $1,000, I think the best one is the HP Pavilion. I don't think there's other deal that's going to be better for gaming now. Now, if you can afford a gaming PC that's $1,100, so it's around $50 more than the last one, you should go with the ABS Master one instead of the iBuyPower one, because you get the i5 11400F, which is better than the Ryzen 5 3600 at gaming. You also get more storage and you also get a better cooler. Now, the Ryzen 5 3600 or the i5 11400F doesn't need a high-end cooler, but it's a nice detail to have for those CPU temps. For the next PC, we have another one from ABS, and this one is a master gaming PC as well, with the i5 11400F as well, but this time you get the RTX 3060 Ti and 1TB of SSD. The price for this PC is $1,500, but the difference between this one and the last two is huge because of that RTX 3060 Ti being a lot better than the RTX 2060. This PC is designed to play 1080p with a 240Hz monitor or 1440p 60Hz monitor, and you will be able to run every single game without any problem, with the proper settings, of course. So if you have a 1440p monitor or you want to compete at 240Hz 1080p gaming, this PC is going to be for you, and you end up saving $200. Now for the higher end of things, we have the ABS Gladiator gaming PC with the i7-11700F, the RTX 3070, 16GB of RAM and 1TB of SSD. Now the deal is not huge, you only save $50, but at the end you end up saving money, and with that money I would invest it in a better cooler, because that cooler for the i7-11700F doesn't seem really promising. So if you change the cooler, I think this gaming PC it's a great deal. The RTX 3070 and the i7-11700F is one of the best combinations for gaming right now without having to spend more than $2,000. And of course the i7-11700F is going to be a much better CPU for multitasking than the i5 and the Ryzen 5 3600. You also get a well-branded motherboard, the Gigabyte B560, and as usual the GPU brand may vary because of the market right now. So that was my list, but I'm going to give you a bonus PC if you are working with a really tight budget. If you are working with a budget below $500, you have this deal right now from HP with the Ryzen 3 4300G, 8GB of RAM at 3200MHz, 2 sticks of 4GB, and that's something to keep in mind because if it was one stick, the performance for the PC would be worse, but because it's dual channel, it's going to be better. You also get enough storage with 1TB of hard drive and 256 of SSD to put your Windows there, and it's only $430. This gaming PC is designed to play 720p 60fps average in every competitive game, and actually 60fps average in games like GTA 5, but at 720p. If you want to play 1080p games, of course it depends on the game, you will be able to run Minecraft at above 60fps average in 1080p, that's for sure, but for games like GTA 5 you will have to lower these settings to low if you want to have a 60fps gaming experience, and that's why I would recommend you going for the other HP Pavilion that's $550, but if you don't have the money to, don't worry, you can go with this one and upgrade to a better PC later on. So this is a gaming PC that right now is a good deal if you're working with a really tight budget. Now that was my complete list. If you found it helpful, please hit like and subscribe, but most importantly hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, which I do from 3 to 5 times a week. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section and I will reply as fast as possible. Thank you guys for watching and thank you so much for the support. It's been amazing the last couple days, so thank you for that and I will see you on the next one.